You're gonna eat so many more chicken nuggets.
It's Jen and Lizzie, girls that eat.
Hello, hello. I am Jen. We are the girls that eat. My partner Lizzie is out today. I've always made a plan to, well, we made a plan to always, post the video at least once a week, and our schedules have been all over the place. So I thought I'd just throw one out here, a quick, short one, just to touch base. And a big one that I really want to talk about because it's been happening a lot is mental health. I know we've talked about it, or we talked about wanting to talk about it, and I'm sure we're going to bring it up again, but I just wanted to, I pulled up some facts and just want to share it with you guys, and then, see how you guys can relate, if you guys have any questions about it. But um mental health, it's a big one, and everyone goes through it. The facts that I found is, more than 50 million Americans struggle with mental health, and I'm sure maybe your friends are experiencing it. And there's a lot of people that I know that don't even want to talk about it. And, you think they're perfectly fine, but behind closed doors, they're coping in some kind of way. Relating this to health and fitness, everyone is different. Some people, when, they're struggling with whatever, some people like to go to the gym and work out, kind of let release the tension, whatever, but that's not me. I'm more like I get into a dark place, which I know it's not healthy, but at the same time it's like, everyone deals with it differently, but we all can find better ways to deal with it. I found that they say regular exercise, physical exercise, can be a crucial part of your treatment and management, which, I mean, I guess is true because, all the endorphins, all the positive things that get into your body when you work out. But, you just kind of have to be in that headspace. I've experienced a lot of many different things. I mean, the first time when I really, truly understood what anxiety was when my cousin, she was murdered 2015. And I, you know, growing up, me, my family, we've attended many funerals, but we've never, I mean, I knew them, but not like to the point where it was like, it was an emotional thing. It was just like, okay, this person died, and, we just attend a funeral. But my cousin being only 20 years old, and the fact that she was murdered, it just took me to a different place. It was very hard, and I just remember, laying in bed, and I don't even know how long I was in bed. And my husband was, I remember he said something to me, to the like something like, "Hey, I know you're like in a dark place right now, and you could stay there, but don't stay there for long." And I remember when he said that to me, because I was laying in bed, looking out the window, just doing nothing. And when he said that, it was something just like clicked, where it's like, yeah, I shouldn't stay here. And I mean, we had kids. I mean, we had to take care of them. And I think at that point, I kind of got out of it, and then, try to go back to like a normal routine. But um yeah, that was something else. And then also, when I moved here to Texas, that was like almost 3 years ago. That one was very hard for me too. And I mean, it didn't take me to a dark place, but my, my vibe was not right. I had no intention on moving here, but because I always thought, I mean, I'm from California. I always said I would just live my life there and die there. And then life happened, and I'm in Texas now. And the first year was very hard. And I know that took a big part of our marriage because, that phrase, happy wife, happy life, I was not happy. I mean, I had the intention of coming back. I mean, all my family's in California, but I don't know, it kind of just slowly, I mean, what's 3 years now? I mean, I still miss them, but I mean, there's a lot of cool things in Texas. Would I move back? I don't know. I mean, California is really expensive. I mean, I'm so used to seeing the gas under $3 now, the speed limit at 80 miles per hour, and that's like normal. So, I mean, that's not the only thing. I mean, like my brother, I miss my brother. My mom's planning to move here. Um, but I was doing some research about, that phrase, happy wife, happy life. I mean, they don't know where it came from, but it talked about, um, your spouse. Let's see what it said here. Um, there are plenty of theories of why the saying happy wife, happy life could be true. One of the beliefs is that if a wife is happy, they'll be more willing to help their spouse achieve happiness. Maybe that goes out of their way to help and assist to serve their spouse or have an improved mood that makes them more enjoyable to be around. Yeah, and that was not me. Like I did not want to do anything. Um, but when it comes to mental health and health and fitness, it's just I feel you have to have that mindset of like, okay, we need to get going on like trying to be healthy. But when something gets in the way, like depression, some people think that, their health is not, it's not on top of their list. And especially for like young kids, like it said here, 1 in 5 young people, the ages of 13 to 18, have or will develop a mental illness in their lifetime. And I was talking to somebody, she was giving me some advice, and she was saying, she goes, I wish, because my kids, well, I have a 4-year-old and then a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old. And she said that if I wish someone would have told me this, that if what'd you say? She said, if someone told me when my kids were your age this, then it would have totally helped me. And I was just like, what is it? And she goes, if you ever feel like your kids need something or they're going through something, don't just feel like it's going to like pass or they're just going to get over it. She's all, because it won't. And I really took that to heart because my oldest, he's so young, and for a young child to experience anxiety, it's it's so like I mean, I don't understand it because I mean, when I was young, I didn't experience anxiety, but it's just so different now. Like it was saying here, youth depression rates have risen from 12.9% to 25.2 from pre-pandemic to 2021. And the depression symptoms can impact performance with the school and even personal relationships. So with my son, it's, I just want to be there for him, and I wish I could just take that away. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that movie with J-Lo, that movie Enough, when she takes her daughter because she has to escape from, I don't know if that was her husband, but she was like in the car and she was talking to her daughter, and I think she was like asleep, and she was just saying something like, if I could just take like a little bit of your pain away and she could endure it, she would. And I remember hearing that. I don't know if I was a parent yet at the time, but when you become a parent and you're responsible for these children, I mean, if you could just take a piece of their pain away, you would, because you don't want your kids to be sad or, bullied at school. And I like last year, someone was bullying my son. Oh my gosh, that took me, like, I was so upset and my headspace wasn't there. Like, and I couldn't even imagine what he was going through. And we talked about it, but the whole mental health thing, it's like if you're not in the right headspace, everything kind of just goes all over the place. You don't, do you put your health first? Do you go work out because that will help you? I mean, everyone experiences stuff like that differently. And I think with, I don't know, I mean, if you have someone to talk to, that's always an important thing. And for like the people who don't have somebody, I mean, like when I came here, I was so used to having so many friends. Like they were walking distance away from my house, or they were like a 5-minute ride. I don't have that here. And thinking about it, it's kind of sad. And, I should make the effort to do like make new friends. I feel like, when I want to see my friends, like I have to go fly to California to see them, because when you have like that friendship with people, I mean, it fills your cup, like your soul, like you just, I don't know what it is, but when you're like in that sad state, having a friend, because it's not the same when you FaceTime or talk on the phone. I mean, it's good, but it's not like overflowing. Like when I go back to California and I see my family, it's just I don't know. I feel like I'm glowing because, I'm surrounded by love, by the family that I've always known since I was a child. And that was also part of the whole mental health thing about not being here and not having that. And usually like around like Thanksgiving or Christmas time is when I kind of get really sad. And I was talking to my counselor about this, and she was saying, because I'll talk to my husband about it, and he's the kind of person that likes to like solve, solve, solve. It's just like, let me fix this for you. But sometimes, I mean, I don't know if it's just a woman thing, but sometimes we just want to be heard. And that's what she said in our counseling appointment. She goes, you know what? Instead of trying to solve that for her, say like, yeah, I know it is sad because we're away from family. Let's talk about it. And I find that even though I would still be kind of sad, the fact that I was heard and like my feelings were acknowledged, it kind of just made it less depressing. And that's what I find like with my brother. He's so freaking awesome. Like when he knows I'm like going through it, instead of like trying to solve my issues, he's just like, all right, I got time for you. Go ahead, lay it all out. And I do. And then after our conversation, I just feel better. And that's why I think, when it comes to like friends or family, it's just good to like let it out, talk about it. Because keeping that all inside, it's just, I don't know what it does, but it just gets bottled up, and at, you're like sweeping it underneath the rug, and then before you know it, you have like this huge mountain, and then, the depression state gets even worse. Um, but I don't know if anyone's experiencing mental health. I mean, do not feel like you are alone. You might feel like you're alone, but reaching out to anybody, family, friends, and I'm I'm terrible at that. I mean, I'm the kind of person where like I'll freaking carry that damn refrigerator inside by myself before I ask for help. I mean, I remember when I was moving here, I was like, I'm just gonna pack this whole house myself because I hate asking for help, and I know I need to work on that, but I don't know, it's just that's a whole different story because it's not always about just solving the issue at hand. Sometimes just listening helps. So I don't know if this helped anybody. I don't know if this was more of like a venting kind of thing. Because I know a lot of people right now who reached out, and I listen, and especially for the people who I truly care about, I just like with my kids, I wish I could take this pain away from you. And I'm an empath, and gosh, when someone's like in pain, like hurting, I hurt too. It's like I'll cry with you. Oh, there was one day where I had two friends. I had spoke to one, I think it was like 1 or 2 hours, and then maybe like half an hour later, the other friend called me, and then that was another 2 hours. Man, by the time I got off the phone, I mean, and I was glad that I was able to just listen and, let it all out. But when I got off the phone, oh my gosh, I just felt like the energy was just sucked out of me. I was just, I don't know if it's because I like the whole empath thing where it's like you're just absorbing it. But man, I mean, I might have taken a nap after that because I just felt drained. And it's not like I was doing any physical work. I mean, I was sitting in my bed listening and like, being a good friend. But at the end, it was just, I never thought it would be so emotionally draining. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but I would suggest if you have, I mean, you have one was like very important. The other one was, just a friend. So if you were to be that person for people to maybe limit it like once a day, because I don't know what happened. I just sucked it out of me. Well, that's what I have. I mean, this is kind of short and sweet since I don't have Lizzie with me to feed off my whatever I'm talking about. And then also the fact that, she always keeps me on track because before I know it, I'm talking about freaking cheeseburgers or something. Um, but mental health, everyone experiences it, and um, you shouldn't be going through that alone. All right. Well, that's all I could think of. There was one thing I wanted to say, and it like, oh, I can't believe I forgot it. I might have to go back and figure out what I wanted to say. But um, thank you for listening. Until next time. Bye.